So we are on the way to meet with Josh Hooper, who you guys may remember from insert episode number here, of the Full Landscape. Josh Hooper is the Managing and Creative Director of Landscape Techniques and a very good customer of Waterpro and just a really nice guy. I think we've established that once before. We've had a few people commenting that the deep dives that we've done on site have been of interest to them and it's good content. So it's something that I enjoy doing, and I think it's something that actually helps our clients get more exposure in social media, considering none of them have really gone and employed their own DK. I'm going to try and get that to stick. You need a DK. So yeah, we're on the way to Torrens Park. This is a job that I believe is, 75 or 80% complete. Josh will be able to tell you. And he'll walk around and I'll ask random questions and hopefully bring some value to him and to you, the end user, the viewer, the fan, the liker, the follower. And I'm hoping to book more of these. So any of you landscape folk out there who are dealing with us, I'd love to come and spend 15 or 20 minutes looking at your site and understanding a bit more about the processes that you guys go through to get a job from start to finish. And I know that there's a lot of people that are not in the landscape business that would love to see how it all comes together. There's a lot involved and you guys know that, but not everyone does. So how nice is this, man? Beautiful leafy streets.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice area.
Is that artificial lawn? Fucking artificial lawn. I bet it is. You know how we feel about artificial lawn, DK. Morning. I'm well. How are you? Pretend to be doing something. See you, man.
Yeah.
Been a while.
Yeah.
Just head through. Is this going to be artificial, is it? What's this? Is that artificial? So there is a place for artificial, it's just a basketball court. Knock, knock. Be so careful, man. I'm looking for the creative director. Let's see if I don't touch the glass. How are you, man? Oh, basketball court is up there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, chucking sports turf up there.
Did you organise the ring?
Nah.
Is this all okay to walk on?
Yeah, all good. Yeah. It's just so dewy this morning.
Yeah, it looks like it's wet. Yeah, because Jack's been playing basketball and we've got this ring, but we've just designed our backyard and I want to change it all already. Yeah. And I'm thinking, like, if he's going to be playing, this is cool. Like, it's.
They're not cheap, hey?
No, his was, but his was from Toys R Us and he's that tall. So, but yeah, that's obviously one that you can dunk and it's going to handle it.
I just couldn't reach it.
Yeah. Did you hurt anything?
No.
That's a proper height.
Yeah. Well, I hope so.
How crazy is it to think and to jump from where you are and.
Don't ask me to.
Shout out to Michael Jordan. So we'll start out the back and work our way out the front.
Yeah.
So have you've taken this job on from scratch? Are you involved in the pool?
We started this. This was almost the last one that Gus did.
Okay.
Yeah. So we did all the retaining walls before the house.
Yep.
And then yeah.
So you guys did everything. So did you do the fencing, or that's kind of here, and the builder does that?
We did it all.
You did it all.
Yeah. So we subbed that out, but yeah, it's all part of our scope.
Yep. And so these retaining walls that you've done.
Yep.
They've got you use a 100mm channel.
Yep. Well, it's all 150.
150.
Yeah. Yep.
Is that because it's stronger, or it's engineered, or
just engineered?
You won't fit them in.
No, we don't go anything lower than 150.
Yep.
Just
do you go
stronger.
with Australian steel and all that?
That's exactly right. Yep.
So
they've just got to be touched up a bit.
Because this is something that a lot of people wouldn't know about, is that you can buy Chinese steel.
It's so much cheaper. Yeah.
But when you're retaining that and protecting that,
and it's what's under the ground as well.
Because there's as much down as there is up.
General rule of thumb. Yep.
Yep. And everything above a metre needs to be engineered.
Correct. Yep.
So what do you do there? You design it and then
design it, send it to the engineers. So we've got a couple that we use, and we just get them to price it up, and then through to council, and you're away. You're off and running. And normally it's pretty like inside the boundary line, no dramas.
Because they're not, because it's your land that you're protecting. From your land.
And then, but when it's on, boundary fences, and you got to talk to the neighbours and go cat two, and
because the neighbours are also going to be paying for part of it sometimes.
Yeah.
Not on this kind of job.
Nah, it's a tricky one, so I'll leave that to the client. They can.
You let them have that conversation. They know their neighbours.
Yep.
We're going to have the same issue soon, and I reckon it's just going to be a case that I'm just going to build it and not worry about involving them, and say like I'll talk to them, but I'll pay for it. Like because
Well, that's normally what it is.
where the person that's getting the work done is going to go, yep, let's do it. Okay.
Well,
cool.
retaining wall, it's normally the person that's retaining.
Yep.
Pays for that.
So that
cost.
should have been those guys. Or
Yeah. So this wall was existing, right?
Yep.
So
I've got my situation at my house. My wall is I'm on the low side.
Yep.
So the person that's them retaining.
It is.
Yeah.
Correct. So they should be paying the retaining.
But there's a wall there already, which I want to take down.
Right.
So So I think my theory will be, well, I want it to come down. I'm going to pay for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I want to put a new one in.
Yeah.
You know.
And then you split the fence normally.
Yep. And someone gets. These aren't good neighbour, are they? Oh, that
Yeah.
doesn't
So all
matter.
those are good neighbour. This is a double colour post and rail.
And that's known as monument now.
Now that's woodland grey.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is monument.
It's so
That's
close,
normally
though.
what. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this.
Because this colour scheme's actually. I mean, it's funny. I always
So
make.
when
this,
we did this fence,
I always make this so
monument,
much about
I don't
my
think
house.
was in.
Yeah.
Don't think you could get fencing.
Because we got
sheets in
our
monument.
roof sheets are woodland grey.
Yeah.
So we'll do woodland grey. Yeah.
Yeah.
So similar.
Yeah. It is a fair bit. That's got a green tinge, whereas monument's got actually a bit of purple in it.
Yeah. Yep.
But I prefer monument big time.
And you'll plant all this out soon?
Yeah, so plants should be here next week, and then we've got an imaginary pool fence here.
As in, I just have to pretend that it's here, or there is one there?
Well, there is one.
Yep. And that's fine not to have it up now. It's not finished. And
Well, we take it like for now because most of the access is through here.
Yep.
Then we put it up at night.
Yep.
But yeah, it's like a timber. It's something that I designed that I wish I never did because it's going to be quite difficult.
the pool fence.
Yeah, so it's
those timber
actually.
slats. That's not your problem, isn't it? These guys that have to do it.
Yeah, I know, but I've still got it. So it's all them vertically, but you need to have, and then like tubes in between.
And the other thing is that it still needs to meet code.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
So
if they're too far apart, they become climbable.
correct. And then that bar there has to be over 12 or 12.50.
That still has to be high enough. So then the wood has to be higher than that. It'll all be worth it.
Let's hope so. Yeah.
The client's obviously going to be happy with it.
No, yeah. Well, he's a
These steppers are cool. Like,
yeah, they're just
it would have been so easy just to put like concrete here because it's what you've always done.
yeah, but it just gives you a little bit of warmth.
Yeah.
And he, the client is Hammersmith, who do a lot of timber balustrading and all
So
that
he wants
sort of stuff.
timber,
Yeah.
timber.
And then we did this in modwood, right? It's just he just didn't want a maintenance. That's going to grey off.
And
They'll grey
so that
off.
won't be. That's not. You won't oil that.
Nah, that's just going to just soften. And then there's Ficus hilii, like pleached in front of that.
Yep.
So you
I
just
know
get
what that means now. I did a site visit, learned what pleach means. So real cool.
Good man. Yeah. And then trying to just sort of completely cover all these fences in greenery.
Which is quite a height for such a thin garden bed.
It
so
is.
what?
Yep.
That's ficus.
No, so that will be Waterhousia floribunda.
Yep.
So they'll sort of need to be just clipped a little bit and then just layered plantings.
Yep.
And then this is all sort of modern Australian with a bit of succulent, bit of feature plants, bit of corten edging.
That's been rolled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is the Form Boss one. So it's just got that rolled edge.
Makes it like you can stand on it. I mean, you don't
Yeah,
want to
it's
stand on
for,
it. But
for playgrounds,
Yep.
kid friendly.
Yep.
They've got little dog as
Yep.
well, so they just wanted everything to almost be kid friendly.
What we did a site visit with Distinctive, and then we saw.
Yep.
I think Mitch. We saw some. Everyone's using 6mm. Like it seems to be a thing.
Yep.
That looked like 6mm from above, but then when
It's
you look
not.
at it, it's not. So it's rolled, and
exactly.
it gives you that 6mm
Yep.
look.
Yep. No, we find
Is
it quite
this
good.
Spec'd at a better safety. Is that the idea? Like it's because it's a
It
roll.
is, yeah. Yep.
Yep.
But still, the 6mm fine as
And
well.
you can bend this pretty easy, and
You can. With all these curves, like,
Yeah.
you look at that circle, you wouldn't be able to do that. Well, you would be
yeah.
able to fabricate it, but you'd have to have a
Curves.
bending machine for sure.
bloody curves. Irrigation delight.
You know,
Well, the turf's artificial, so.
that's right. The rest of it's all garden.
And you use 25mm poly as a standard for your header pipes regardless?
Yep.
Just set that, and cobra clips all jobs regardless?
Yep.
Just set that benchmark
Yep.
for quality.
Yep.
Obviously with
That's
your
what you
staff,
told us to do, mate.
benchmark quality staff and
Exactly.
yep.
Yep.
Tough turf. Whose artificial is it?
Titan Turf or Osgreen Solutions. They're down at Lonsdale, just near us.
Yep.
So we literally
you build a
use it
relationship.
yeah, we
on
use it maybe
geographics
once
almost.
a year, mate. Like,
And you bring me to that one job. Display.
I know.
We'll do another site visit. This one might not even get on YouTube, but you know.
That's fine, mate. Doesn't bother me.
I leave it up to DK.
Good man.
He's the editor.
Yeah.
So.
But no, I think we just put down about 450 squares of your special turf, mate. So
My special turf.
yeah, well, it's grass, it grows.
Yeah, it's special.
Yeah.
What's behind there? Is that like a service area or?
That is rainwater tanks.
Can we have a look?
Yep.
It is water.
Yep. So that's pretty much the only thing we really didn't do, really.
And this is natural stone.
This is bluestone. Yep.
And where's that from?
This one is from Granite
Yeah,
Works, which is
So they bring that in from.
whatever
Melbourne?
they do.
Yeah, they bring it in. They bring it in and then they bring it in.
Yep, they're pretty good with their bluestone stuff.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, it just hides it completely.
Because obviously they've done an extension, I'm guessing, or
Nah,
new
it's a
house.
whole
Sorry.
new house.
So they are required to put in a certain amount of water. They've obviously gone over and above.
Yep.
So
I
they got,
reckon
6,000 or something. So there's 3.
No, there's just 2. I reckon it's 8,000 all
Yeah.
up. I reckon they're 4
Before,
each.
they're
eh?
pretty big.
I didn't like this. Like he put the pump
it's
here.
right there. Yeah. Could have been
Ideally.
like right there or right there. Yeah.
But these are the things that get done prior.
Yeah, and I guess as you looking at it from a landscape design point of view, and they're looking at it from it's easy just to put it here point of view.
Well, this is the bathroom right here. Pump straight into the toilet.
Which
Done.
could have been under the concrete still.
Correct.
So you've done all the exposed.
Yep. All the
Yep.
exposed still got to be acid washed and sealed.
What's this called?
Envy. So it's one that we'd probably use 90% of the time.
Yep, because of the colours matches
Yeah.
what's trendy at the moment.
Yeah,
or?
just charcoal base. You don't get too many marks on it, like when you're doing a driveway or anything like that.
Well, even
no
though that
wool
looks
marks.
like not staining, but there's like.
Nah, it hasn't been clean, mate. Like this has been down for probably.
And that doesn't matter.
4
Like
months.
you can clean this in
Yeah,
after
acid,
6
it's
or
got
8
to be
months.
acid washed and then sealed.
How do you handle that with your plants? Like you're trying to acid wash, just not let it get on.
So
in your
this
garden?
is going to be acid washed on tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that acid will dissipate eventually. Like,
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's so diluted.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. And you do all these walls as well?
Yep.
Or block rendered? Do you ever render it on staff, or do you?
We
contract
do,
that?
but this one we actually got Render House to do.
Because it's so big.
Nah, just because we were too busy.
busy, yeah.
Yeah. So
Good problem to have.
it is. It is. Yep.
We talked about that. I talked about it with someone else. Busy's good until you let people down.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So that's the balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
You just communication.
That's all it is, man.
Yeah.
And that's like, I guess it's business and personal. Because
Yep.
there's always someone at home when you're not there that's, I thought you were going to be here, or
Yeah. Yeah.
your clients, I thought you were going to be here.
Yeah. But no, it's a pretty cool front. I like the frontage of the house.
We did it, Michael and I, when we first started, did a job with a similar stone to this.
Yeah.
And it all fell off the walls. So, because we used grip set 51, I think the black stuff.
Yeah.
And we stuck these straight to that.
Yeah.
And then we went back and we're like, but we waterproofed it. They're like, yeah, that's an internal or whatever. You can't stick stuff to it.
Cementitious.
Like
Yeah.
$2,500 worth of stone.
Dude.
So when we first started Fluid Designs, which was
Yes.
what became Waterpro,
Yeah.
we were going to be a water feature company. And the only job that we ever won that was a water feature, we didn't finish and couldn't charge the client because,
I reckon I remember you telling me that.
yeah, up in Rostrevor,
Yeah.
what was his name? Nick G. Yeah, I met him in Newton's before I was leaving, and he was building his house, and I was like, yeah, well, I'm leaving soon, and this is what we're doing. He's like, oh, we need a water feature. I was like, oh, I can do a water feature. No license, no idea. I don't even think we had a trailer. So,
Out the back of the commo.
I think it was a Falcon, but yeah.
You're a Ford man. Yeah.
Roughly. So what the process for this is? How long ago did you design this? Like,
This
would
would've-
they engage you at a point and?
So the house had just been designed by Scott Salisbury Hone,
Yep.
and then literally before they actually signed the dotted line, they got us to do a design and price it up.
So they had their house plan ready.
Yep. And
they
then,
wanted to talk to a landscape
Yep.
contractor first.
Yep.
And make sure that it tied together and that it was going to work. And
Correct. Yep. So
Yep.
we sort of put the pool in that spot. Mermaid Pools did the pool.
Yep.
And then we just worked around it, got all these walls in, and they thought it worked quite well.
Yep.
And
So then they were comfortable with that the landscape would match the house.
Correct.
And then they can proceed with the house.
Yeah.
And then you work hand in hand with the builder, or like not much. You just
we
conduits and just make sure this is here.
Well, because we had to do the walls first.
Yep.
You know, we had to know time frames, so just got in here, got the walls
do
done,
that, and they'll come in and do the
foundation.
foundation.
And then they came in, and then Bill came in, did the pool, and then we, house build.
Yep. You've gone with a broken, what's that, crazy pave? Or is that what it's called? Just to soften this, because it's all straight edge?
Yep, exactly.
Obviously, is there going to be planting in here, or is it just going to be
That's all planting.
Yep. Okay, so that's going to be a massive difference to if it was.
Big time, mate. Yep. So it's all, just layered plants through here.
Is that the finished letterbox?
No. Nah, there's a big black sort of one that's probably about 2 metres long by, sort of hangs over the front.
Parcels.
Yeah, well, it's probably got to slot that over.
Oh God, all show, no go.
Yeah. But, you know, it's got so much width here, so you sort of need to, because the letterbox is a big feature.
Piece kind of thing, or can be.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, that's just the temporary one.
Yeah.
I
would take that as, when you finish with it, as my feature letterbox. So
I'll drop it off for you,
if you can. That's a nice piece of wood.
Yeah.
Our letterbox at Gillis Plains got blown up by some kids, so I ended up just buying one from Bunnings as well. It's a friendly beat.
Easy.
So you do the planting plan for this?
Yep.
And that'll be the last thing, you have planting day, and that's kind of a celebratory period where
we've got to do the front, because see there's no footpath.
Yep.
So
who's responsible for that?
Well, we've been back and forth with council for ages. They've got no.
Is this Mitchell?
Yes. Yep. So they've got no plans to put a footpath on this side for the next 3 years. So we're just going to put one in, and then just plant out the front.
Okay. So what are you going to make the footpath? Just extend the concrete as it is, like more exposed?
So I think we're just going to do plain concrete. Yep. And then just plant out both sides.
Yeah.
So
and then it will kind of match up there.
Yeah.
Just to finish the house.
So a lot of like myporum, so ground cover, so it just looks almost like grass, but without the maintenance.
Yep. To do my whole house with that. We've got a really big block. Our block's nearly 1,000 squares.
Yeah.
So
myporum's great for that. So good for council verges. Just a few Dianella or Lamandra and then that, and job done. Don't
Let's go have a look at the swimming pool, man. Talk me through the design. So you've got lights going in here. Are these yours?
We're going to put them in, but this was done through the. Actually, we run this cable, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Yeah. Yeah, so it was designed by the builder to have them there.
Nice. Well, to feature, I mean, there's a lot of detail in that stone.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's quite cool.
So is this, like this render, this might not be something you know, but is that a finish? Like the way this render looks, like it's got more deep crevicey.
Yeah, so whether it's
like the trowel or.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the actual render. Yep. Yeah. So there's coarse, mid-coarse. I couldn't tell you what it is.
Solid?
Solid, yep. Whole house is solid.
So foam wall, rendered or clad.
Rendered. Yep. Gate here.
So how many pumps you got? It's on the pump competition. We should have seen this house we went to in Virginia.
This is Bill's realm. I don't even try to. Is that a distinctive one?
Yeah. That pool was twice the size of that though. That was just ridiculous.
Yeah, and it had the infinity edge.
And the tank, an infinity edge on two sides that was hidden and.
Yeah. It looks amazing.
And that's the thing. It's amazing for me to go there and go like I remember the pool I had at Gillis Plains, which would have been built in the 70s.
Yeah.
Running one of these with little jets that kind of squirted out, and how much how much even just the pool world has changed. Not even to think about how much, wet lay. Like this wasn't happening. Not much. It's all new. It's
flagstone.
Importing stone from other countries and. Yeah. So, is this deeper than you would usually do here? Is that quite deep or?
Nah, that's. Do you want me to get down there and measure?
No.
I can't remember.
It's what 6'6" or something. 6'8". Yeah. It looks deep. Yeah.
It'd be over 2 metres for sure. Yeah.
Because of the size of the pool.
I think so. Yeah.
There's no swim jet or anything. It's just
we just pretty much
they want a body of water to swim in,
and then Bill sort of ran with this one. Now we sort of do more of the pool design.
So this is one of your first pool.
It's not in our contract, this pool, but it was, let's get it around
part of the design.
Yep. And now you guys was all for it too.
And now you guys are all in pool builder.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. So, it's good.
But it does so that window's part of the plan. Does it go to that extreme? Like there's a pool there, let's put a window there so you can look out and.
Well, sort of talking with Salisbury's as well.
Yep.
They loved it.
Yeah. So then. they can see,
Well, yeah, that's a breakfast bar, and
Yep.
you can literally just look straight through.
and it's water, and it's so
Mate,
calming.
And reflections, like
yeah. And then
great.
you'll plant that up nicely. So what is this? I mean, is it a cheaper timber than?
they are hardwood timber
Yeah.
stakes.
Well,
So we just cut the points off.
more because like I like this.
Yeah.
And my house is going to be on a budget.
Yeah.
So if that,
I've got it at my
you know,
house.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And
They're
you
just so cheap, and they just
Yeah.
grey off like they would
and
a
it looks,
cypress.
it's that rustic rather than being so. I mean,
And they're brand new, like so. There's tannins running through them and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
give them a year, and they'll really just dull off.
Yep. I really like that. And we've got fences that are going to require something like that.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
And you can't just render everything, you know.
Well, that, like, because render is quite a sterile look to
It
a
is.
point.
You need to soften it
So
for sure.
it was like what you've said with, you know, softening with that and, you know, planting there and
Yeah. You know, even pot. You know, we've got a pot going in there and bits and pieces.
what's under that?
That is the auto leveler.
Yep.
I reckon. When I spoke to Granite Works,
The buoyancy.
well, they're just saying that you know half of their stone is coming to Adelaide. He just couldn't believe how busy Adelaide was, and it's good. I think.
Well, I think
good
people are
time.
spending the money now. Like I don't think it was necessarily they didn't have the money before, but it was just
They
this,
can see it now.
Yeah.
Social media has definitely
Yeah.
brought it closer.
and there was this natural tendency. Like no one was putting in a concrete
slab.
just in the middle of their backyard to sit on and chill.
No.
Like it just wasn't happening. It would have been like retaining wall, lawn, straight edges.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have had stone. It would have been maybe like the
Urban
top of the
stone or
line
something.
made paver. So
Yeah.
like a
Yep.
$40 a square metre kind of
Yep.
concrete stone paver. So it's just come so far. I mean, even for me, like I know I should be putting this into it. I'm still like, pavers are so much cheaper. Like I just,
Yeah.
you know. I mean,
Well, you got to be.
we're in Hope Valley though. Like it's not. It's just different areas, you know. We're going to spend as much outside as we have on the house. It's getting a bit crazy,
Yeah.
but we'll spend
But you
most of our
spend-
time
that's
outside, and we
right,
will,
mate.
man.
And
You know.
we've got that climate. You know, they've got heaters galore under
Well,
here.
this. I mean, it was good to see this because I've got to build this outside, and it's quite large. Like it's probably 80 or 90 square meters of outdoor entertaining.
yeah.
And the heaters are a great idea. The fans,
Oh, they're so
obviously.
good.
Imagine we had to walk out there. We could get this whole outdoor entertaining area and then fit that pool there and
Out.
still have fence. So you've got outside house, that pool. Like it's perfect for it. But it's
Well,
just
it's like, the one that we did it, just finished off at Henley Beach. They've got house, pool, and then
backyard.
300 squares of turf out the
And
back,
that
and then
was-
a man cave.
People said, you know, make sure your pool's close to the house. Make sure you can see it from
Yeah.
all the right areas. Because our house is
That's
an
the
L
money
shape.
maker.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And because it's an L shape, our house is like an L shape, an internal L shape, not like that. So the pool, you could see it from all, like the living area. So there's like a, what do you call it, like the kids area and then the adults area, and then the pool would be like there. So you can
Yep.
see it from everywhere. Plus, inside that L is this entertaining area.
Yeah, awesome.
So you just sit there and
Mate, that'd be so good.
just getting it
Just
through
gotta do it.
through the finance department.
Oh, mate, I'm in the same boat. Don't worry.
And that's the thing, like this is not something you can skimp on. I mean, like retaining walls, you could have had flat face, or you could have done whatever. Or
you know, we could have had.
you know.
We priced it up as rendered walls too.
yeah,
you
so
know.
so that you can take some money from there because we did the same. Distinctive Gardens have done me a design, and it's all rendered walls. And I went to Mifkus and I saw Philip Withers had done this welcome garden,
Yep.
which had a lot of sawn cut stone,
stone,
and I was
yep.
like, that looks so cool, and it's so practical. You can sit on it. And then I spoke to Rob. I'm like, if we did that, like, would that change the price much? He's like, dude, you could do a wall in a day. Like, it'd just be plonk, 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 plonk. There's no formwork or whatever, you know,
No,
concrete. There's no whatever. It's just, there's your wall.
Just get the rock and.
So, and we've got the footprint for it. It's not like we're trying to,
Yeah, so you
save
can
it.
actually have that metre wide
Yeah.
area of retaining.
yeah, and plant through it and make it a bit. But then our house is that like old concrete, like, you know, the Cortex, what are they called? Those
Blocks.
concrete blocks.
Yeah,
Like
skinny
70s. It was, long and skinny.
See what I've got them too.
The whole house.
Yeah,
the whole
so-
house. So I was like, do we bag render it? Do we render it? Do we leave
Leave it,
them?
mate.
Yeah.
I'm leaving ours.
It looks a bit funky.
Yeah.
I'll send you some
always-
photos. I don't know if I can leave it because the belly of one of the walls is popped as well. Like it's, well, there's a
Can't
belly,
leave that.
so I can render over it and hide it. But we had underpinning done and it hasn't done anything.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
yeah.
It's amazing how much stuff.
$30,000 worth of underpinning. Never underpin anyone. It's a waste of money. It was so bad. Like,
I reckon four jobs in the last 6 months.
some of your jobs
clients
have to be
had.
underpinned.
Well,
If
just
they're
old
heritage
homes.
listed
Yeah,
or
that's
whatever.
right.
Mine's not. Mine was built in
Yeah.
the 70s. It's a childcare centre / drug house. Like it's, like legitimately was a childcare centre and then they grew weed there. Like it's not heritage listed in any way.
Yeah, right.
Are you going to plant under that bench?
Yes. Yep.
And you'll plant stuff that can grow in the shade?
Yeah. So it's a plant we saw at Mifkus this year, tractor seat.
New plant?
Yeah.
Like a hybrid of someone's developed it?
I
Or
think it's just, I think it was a really old
become
school
cool.
plant.
Yep.
Now it's come in.
Yep.
Yeah, they got real shiny, big, almost shape of almost like a tractor seat. I can't remember what the botanical name is.
Oh, that's fine. Tractor seat works, mate. I don't even remember the non-botanical names. All right, we'll get out of your hair. Thank you so much. Awesome to see you.
Thank you.
Any other sites that you have that you'd love to do this with? Like,
yeah, I've got another one. That
DK makes some good little 12-minute snippets. It's going to be good shit for you to share on your social.
Yep.
Give people a bit of an idea of why you've done stuff, and there's a chair there for that. And
yeah, well, the next one that we just handed over 2 weeks ago. He's moving in today, so we couldn't do it today.
Yeah.
But it's a good one at Henley Beach, where we did the whole pool and wet edge spa.
And a finished job's going to be cool as well, because then we can see some plants and turf.
Heaps of turf.
Gonna love the turf. All right, have a good afternoon, guys. It's been amazing to watch the Landscape Techniques over the last 10 years. These guys are a similar story to me. They worked for someone else a little bit. And I feel like Waterpro and Landscape Techniques have kind of been through a very similar growth phase. Like, as much as Josh and his business partner dissolved the partnership amicably, and my partnership probably wasn't that clean, only because of what happened at the end, Josh has gone from being in a partnership to building a crew. His team's probably the same size as mine, over 10 years, and getting to the point where they've started doing really good work, and he's able to kind of almost choose the jobs that he wants to do and work with the people he wants to do. Waterpro are in such a similar position. If you know what I mean, you can find parallels there.